Hey guys, Brandon here with Exotic Cars 19 with the video I've been wanting to make for a while, and thankfully things have added up today to where I can finally make this. This is, as you can see from the title, just going to be a video comparing the Shelby GT350, the quote-unquote standard GT350 versus the GT350R. Obviously we know that production numbers and prices can be much different on the R, so to some people who may not know or some people who are just curious, I'll just walk through the differences here. So my friend drove this here in town in Austin, Texas for some photo shoot, so we're going to overlay that over this video as well as just put on Instagram. But anyway, without any further ado, we're just gonna go ahead and walk through some of the differences here. So I think we'll start out with the cosmetic differences you'll be able to see from the outside. So starting with the front is the, we'll start with functional differences cosmetically. We have a larger splitter. You can see just how much the front splitter sticks out there. As far as overall clearance, I think it might be just a bit lower, but I know that the approach angle will be different just because it sticks out quite a bit more versus if we go over to the standard GT350. You can see that it doesn't stick out past this initial kind of piece of plastic here. But overall, the clearance shouldn't be too different. It just sticks out. The chin is much larger. So I just have Shelby here, and then where the R would kind of be boxed about right there. Also, coming around to the side, you'll be able to see I have these spoked wheels here versus the carbon fiber wheels. So these are very, very, not just beautiful, but functional. I believe they save 13 pounds per wheel from what I heard. So 13 pounds of unsprung mass is quite beneficial in braking, and even just barely more power to the wheels, but overall just lighter unsprung mass helps a ton. Continuing with Aero, the wing on a GT350, there's two different kinds. On 17 and 18s, they're all the same. It pretty much depends on if the GT350 was equipped with the track pack. The track pack included the slightly taller spoiler, magnetic ride differential, and transmission cooler. But on the 2017 and 18s, track pack now comes standard, so all 17 and 18s will have this taller wing. But obviously all of the Rs will have this beautiful larger wing here made out of carbon fiber. But that's pretty much the biggest distinctive thing, is the wing to most people. Also, if you did not get the stripe delete, you did get the stripes. The pinstriping on the Rs are red, as well as the emblems here, front and back. If we go over to the GT350, on white stripes you have black pinstripings, on black you have white, and all that kind of stuff. So black and white pinstriping versus the red. Also, I forgot to mention this when I went to the wheels. Overall brakes are the same, but the calipers are red versus the black calipers here as well. So just again, more distinctive differences between the GT350 and the R. So along with the red brake calipers and the carbon fiber wheels, one thing I forgot to mention was the Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires on the R versus the Pilot Super Sports that come on the GT350. Along with performance upgrades that you won't be able to see just from looking at these, the chassis, steering, and suspension tuning is different for the R. I would imagine it just to be more track focused, a little stiffer, versus more, I guess, daily drivable here with the GT350. So looking inside the GT350R, now the owner of this car decided to put racing harnesses and a roll cage in the back to suit the R's theme of being a track-focused car for the road. Quite like that taste as well. But from the factory, you will not get that. But what you can see is red stitching on the Recaro. On the headrest, it says R versus mine is white stitching that says GT350. Red stitching on the steering wheel, red pinstripe on the top. And then again, just red emblem all over down there where it says the chassis number. But yeah, and then the red pinstripe, I have that on my steering wheel, but I just put, honestly, just red tape there just to give it the look, and it looks pretty good. But if you're not gonna be a cheapo like myself, get the R and you'll have the red pinstripe. Now looking in the back, you can see the rear seat delete. Well, the R was never opted with seats anyway. I believe there's kits out there to give it back, but for an R, you don't really need them. Again, continuing on the door with the suede with the red stitching. Now we'll go over to mine and compare that one. So again, no seats. Now the only benefit I see to the seats, other than if you want to use them, when you look back here on my car, you will notice that the rear seats are folded down. So that's nice for allowing larger things. The reason mine are down is I just found out about a week ago that when you fold down the seats, you get a lot more exhaust sound. As funny as that sounds, it's true. Anyway, looking here, again with the suede but white stitching. And you can't really option that any other way. White stitching, GT350 white stitching, and again with my red pinstripe, but that is a black strip of leather usually. But yeah, looking around here, again with the emblem where it is red on the R. Let's see if I can get a good shot of that. But yeah, chassis number and the chrome or like black chrome in a way. Now, I just spoke about how when I fold the rear seats down, you get much more exhaust sound, and that is because the sound deadening on both of these cars is very, very good. On the road, on the highway doing more than 70 miles an hour, there's actually very mitigated road noise. So when you open up the rear seats, it actually just allows a little bit more exhaust. But talking about exhaust, I don't know if you guys will be able to see here, but my car has resonators right there. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see it, but yeah, resonators. I think they did that, Ford did that just to kind of separate the GT350 from the R a little bit, because if we looked at the GT350R, and this might not be too great of an angle, but there might be some pictures online, but where the resonators are here, there is just an X pipe there. So yeah, it doesn't need the resonators. And in my opinion, I rode in a car with the resonator delete, a GT350 with a resonator delete. And in my opinion, it just sounds like that's the way it's meant to sound, much more free flowing, growlier, cracks and pops much more, I don't know, just free breathing, if you will. So I believe cosmetically, functionally, interior, just everything that you can see and hear the differences about. I think I've already covered them, but really I guess the last difference is MSRP. Now, I don't know the exact numbers. I believe the MSRP on GT350Rs aren't that far off from a standard GT350. The problem, of course, is the markup, but I think on average you can expect to pay anywhere from like $7,000 to $10,000 more. This is just, again, MSRP, from a standard GT350 to a GT350R. But again, the markup just depends on the dealership. I think you guys may have seen the video I talked about with how much I paid for my car. This was, the MSRP on this was like $60,800 and change or something like that. I ended up paying $2,000 over MSRP because the lightning blue was a new color and all that kind of stuff. So I paid $2,000 over. I've seen premiums. Now, just because they're listed for this doesn't mean they're selling, but I've seen the R's on Auto Trader for well into the hundreds of thousands, but I've heard people able to pick them up for mid 80s to low 90s. And if you know somebody very special, you might be able to pick it up for possibly MSRP, but I haven't heard of that case yet. But anyway, yeah, both of them still, even today, hard to find at MSRP, hard to impossible. Maybe with some older GT350s sitting on the lot with like not too specialty color or something like that, you might be able to. Now, production numbers, I don't know all about them too much. Obviously, there's gonna be a whole lot more GT350s. Me personally, I have probably seen in my lifetime, I don't know, probably 10 to 12 maybe GT350s, and mostly at car shows. I've only seen 2 on the public road versus GT350R today, which, I mean, we're halfway through or over halfway through 2017. This is only the second GT350R I've seen, so much fewer production numbers on these for sure. The first time I've ever seen one, it was at the Circuit of the Americas for Lone Star Le Mans last year in the parking lot. So out in the public road, never seen one. So it was a pleasure having this follow me today here to take pictures and do the video. So the road presence of an R is absolutely great, but same again with the GT350. But anyway, from here on out, I'm just kind of rambling because both of these are just so pretty together, having the white on blue and the blue on white contrasting each other. They're just beautiful cars. So anyway, that kind of concludes all the differences you'll be expected to find on a GT350 and GT350R. Let me know which one is the GT350 for you and why. But anyway, that does it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a great day.